I didn't check the weather, but it doesn't look like we'll be sailing. For this line, I just loosen it a little bit so I can get it better with my boat hook when we come in. Like that. And then we'll disconnect this. Like so. Then we'll unhook the power. Which is snagged on everything that it could possibly get snagged on. That's okay. That's just the way it goes when you're in a boat. Or you figure out a better way to lay your lines so that they don't get snagged. That would be the captain's job. Oop, almost forgot. Okay, dagger board's down, rudders are down, motor's connected, motor's running. We should be ready. You ready, checkers? Okay. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Yep, what time is it anyway? It's 9:14. I guess ideal, I'd be leaving about 7 to get morning fishing at my destination. But that's okay. We're gonna troll our way there anyway. We're not in any hurry. It's my birthday. And that's just the way it is. Ooh. It's a great day. Checkers needs a pet. Let's do the checkers cam for just a few minutes. Oh, wait. Okay, I know what we can do. Let's go to that scene right there. And now we can have a Rob cam and a checkers cam. Oh, and I forgot to get fuel, but we should have plenty. But I gotta mark that down on my things to do list. And not only that, I'm missing a phone down below deck. That's okay, we'll get it all squared away here. I feel a little breeze. I see a little ripple in the water out there. I'll get my other phone and check the weather. Should always check the weather anyway, right? A good captain always checks the weather, I think. Someday, one day, I'll be a good captain. I shouldn't say it that way. I'm already a good captain, but a great captain. The Moonshiners, I've only gone out to eat. I've been here almost 6 months, I think, at this marina. There's restaurants everywhere. There's probably 20 within walking distance. Nah, not that many, 10. I've only eaten out twice, I think. What the heck is that? Looks like a big ass fish. Huh. Once I went to the potato place, Spuds. They live on that boat right there. I talked to that woman and her husband the other day, day before yesterday. Their son is a juggler. Looks like they got a big dog. I think I see the tail of a dog sticking up. Okay. So, I'm just going to get into a spot here, and then I'm going to raise the trolling motor on. We'll deploy. It's up. Now we'll trim it down, lower it. And then we'll GPS lock it, just so I don't have to be watching what I'm doing so much, you know? There we go, while I'm setting up my lines. Okay, let's have a cup of drink of coffee. Ooh, pretty warm. Okay. This will be our port side trolling rig. Don't snag in that rope. Please don't snag in that rope. All right, so now I got to go get a few things because I'm not as prepared as I should be. Need my needle nose pliers. What else did I say I forgot? I forgot my phone.
At Downrigger, like many viewers, let's make you popular. At Downrigger, like many viewers, let's make you popular.
That's a bot trying to sell me 6 subscribers. I almost did it once, but just didn't trust the guy. And I also didn't trust the girl that was leading me to the guy. I need to take these shrimp off when I come in from now on. I keep saying that because they're damn hard to get off once they have gotten hard, dried. Okay, I've had this shrimp for about a month and I keep freezing it and thawing it. Okay, first bait's ready. Let some line out. Can you see what I'm doing now? Let's move our camera back this way. There. Okay, then what we'll do is we'll hook the downrigger tether to the line so that it drags the bait down to whatever depth I want the bait. Okay, so we're at the water line right now. So the bait is probably down about 4 or 5 feet right now, maybe a little more. Okay, now let's go over here and let's do a checkers cam and a starboard fishing line scene. Okay, that's got to come out of here. And then we'll press the go button. Okay. Should have had the liver. I got chicken liver down in there thawing. I should have had that ready because I could have put some liver on this right now too. Okay. The old shrimp is off. These shrimp stay on pretty good because I can get them on all 3 of the treble hooks. If I curve it around the hook, you know. Now, we got our line out about 8 or 10 feet. Here's the tether. It's kind of on the wrong side of this. Oh, wow. My freaking ball is completely unhooked. Wow, that was close. I almost dropped this bugger right in. Huh. How that happened. Wow. Okay. Let's check this guy a little bit. Everything looks good. Maybe though, I bet you that's supposed to be like that. There we go. Yeah, that's what was wrong. That clip wasn't set proper. Okay, that's twisted. Let's fix that. Okay, that's fixed. Now let's hook the tether on. We're all twisted. Okay. Still twisted. Okay. Okay. That line's away from the prop. That line's away from the prop. Let's take the anchor off and get it moving. Got some fish down there. Snag or something. Either a fish or a snag. That's a fish. All right. Decent sized one, I think. Okay, let's change the scene to this. Okay. Yeah, that's a decent sized fish. Pulled it off the tether just like it should. Okay. Small catfish. Don't know if I'll even keep them. Come on. Don't want him up there. What the fuck is going on here? There we go. Okay, how in the heck is that possible? Huh. Snagged him right in the damn eye. This might be a little bit hard to get out, so I'm gonna put my glove on. Sorry, buddy. I think you're gonna lose that eye. I'll be careful, but... Oh, not bad. Yeah, he's got spots on him too. I'm gonna let him go. He don't look too good. Okay. Okay, Checkers is in my spot. Oh, shit. Put another shrimp on. Okay. There's my tether. Okay. Okay, now where's my... We'll shut that anchor off. Away from the prop. Okay, that was pretty cool. We caught a fish before we even started. All right, now let's start dropping these balls down, these weight balls, until we can see them. There's one. Okay, I'm at 6 feet right now. That's too low. I'm gonna come up to 4 feet. Now let's drop this one and see if we can see it. Can't see it, but let's adjust. Maybe we'll get to see both of those. There, that could be it right there. See if it's going down. Nope, that's not it. But over here, we're at 8, I think, which gets us to 4 foot of depth. Yep, 8. And over here, we're at 7. Now we're at 8. Okay, so my little buddy is kind of in my way, but that's okay. Okay, let me check something here. All right, now we're going 1.8 miles an hour. We're down at 4 feet and we're in 12 feet of water, so let's go down another 2 feet. Okay, then over here, we'll go down about 2 feet. So I'm gonna take a look and see if I can see my other ball. No, I can see. No, okay, that's okay. We only need to see one. If I slow the speed down a little bit, I'll be able to see both of them. Okay. All right, so we're on Lake Conroe. Let's give you a view. We're on Lake Conroe. It's 25 miles long. It's an average of 20 foot deep. I think it's about 75 miles around it. More than that, maybe. And what the hell's all that noise? Did you hear that? My rudders are making noise back there. Let me change this box around a little bit so Checkers can be in his happy spot there. That works much better for my sitting also. All right, sun is shining. Let's check the weather. So you can see at 4 foot across the top to the right, and then 8, almost 7 feet down, that's my weight. I call it a ball. So that's the depth of the lure right now, or the shrimp. And we're at 15 feet, so I always try to stay about 10 feet off the bottom or so. You can get snags in here. Okay, let's check the weather. Because a good captain always does that, right? Okay, so it's going to be 90 degrees today, which is a little warmer than it's been lately. It's usually been in the 80s. But we have 3 days this week that's in the 90s. Let's check the wind. Right now it's at 2 miles an hour. What? No thanks. 2 miles an hour, and it's going to get
Unknown caller.
4, and then up to about 7, but not until 3 p.m. I'm not seeing those days. All right, so I'm not going to be sailing probably. I'm almost out of battery here. Okay, somebody just left me a voicemail. I should put the autopilot on for this. While I'm monkeying around with my phone charger. What is going on here now? Okay. I don't even know what this is. Ah, come on. Well, I lost my dang phone charger cord down here somewhere. There it is, I see it. It's way over here, though. Okay. Awesome. All right. Okay, everything's good here. Okay. All right. Took care of a little business there. We're in 20 feet of water, so let's drop our weight ball down to 10 now. which is 15 on the clicker. Over here I can't see the ball, so I'll just use the clicker. There we go. All right. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the trolling motor for a while, just for the fun of it. Okay, well, our speed will drop down to about half mile an hour. It's better for catfish anyway. I'm going to put my trolling motor up to 5 and see what speed that gets us. There's no wind, so that should be a pretty appropriate speed. Got to turn that trolling motor so that it's perfectly straight ahead, or not perfectly, but close. Down to 1.2 miles an hour. Oh, this is nice. So I did a grok deep search, and it says there's 4,000 boats on this lake. Today is Tuesday, so there won't be very many out. But even in this small area here, sometimes if I think of it, I'll count the amount of boats that I can see within visual distance, and it's almost always 10 to 20. And what is visual distance? It's probably about half mile? I don't know. Well, let's get this camera up. There, that's better. Okay. We're down to we're holding at 1.3 miles an hour. Huh. Oh, this is so peaceful. I wish that autopilot was a little quieter, but it's not a big deal. So there's a house right there. Wow. I honestly don't know if I've ever noticed that house. But it is a freaking monster. What is that price of that house? That's gotta be... I gotta believe it's hard to buy a piece of shit house on this lake with water frontage for sure less than $500,000. Maybe even you can't get one for less than $1 million. But that house right there, that's got to be 10 million. Okay, let's say it's got to be 5 million. So, October 14th, that's my birthday today. 70 years old. can't believe that happened. So let's go back and do some highlights. If I can remember them. So 10 years old. I'm working for my dad, and I have a mini bike. And I'm terrorizing the neighborhood. Not in a super bad way, just what I mean by that is we used to do a lot of riding, and we go really far from the house, even at young ages. Okay. 20 years old. When I'm 20, I'm working for my dad still, part-time, but I'm also working at Lakeshore. And I started there when I was 17 as a janitor, helper. And then, by the time I'm 20, I actually own 2 houses. I'm renting one out, and I have a second house. I have a full-time job and a part-time job. I have 2 kids. They are now 3 and 1. I think I'm starting to get into Volkswagens. Wow, that's kind of a big deal to be doing that stuff at 20. Okay, so now let's jump to 30. What year is it? Well, in 20 it is 75. Now we're jumping to 1985. And I'm still working for my dad part-time when I'm 30 years old. I am not the janitor helper anymore. I am actually the plant manager running the factory, and it has 210 or so employees. Wow. And I'm working 2 jobs. Oh, I forgot, when I was 20, I was racing motocross. Then at 30, I'm the factory manager, plant manager. I've got 2 kids. Yep, but I'm about to have my 3rd, 4th, and 5th kids. And you know what? I don't think I'm the factory manager yet when I'm 30. I think I might have been 31. So at 30, I'm an electronics technician. And I've already moved through multiple different jobs at the company. Forklift driver, machinist, painter, assembler. I was going out on field service trips, traveling mostly to New Orleans and San Diego, but the East Coast also. Okay, our depth is 24 feet and our ball is at 13, that's fine. Then, let's jump ahead to 95 when I am 40. And I'm 40. Okay, so by the time I'm 40, I have run 3 different factories. And now I am in sales. Or I might have been in the finance department as the estimating manager by about 95. So I've already in that 10-year period, I've had 3 kids. I've changed jobs 2, 3, times. No, four different job titles in 10 years. I'm not working part-time for my dad anymore. He sold his business. I could have taken it over, but I decided to stay at Lakeshore. And I've got 5 kids at 40. But also, I'm not working for my dad anymore, but I actually had almost from 40 to 50 years old, roughly, I pretty much had 2 different titles at the same time. I believe when I was 40, I was the plant manager of the Iron River factory again for the second time, and I was the director of defense programs, basically running our defense business. I wasn't the general manager, but I was the director, so there was a general manager above me, Tim. Now, what else did I miss in there? I'm also racing cars now at 40. I'm racing dirt modifieds, and then I was racing legend cars. And I'm also starting in a karting business. I became the importer. My son Dan worked with me. He did an excellent job. And we were the importer for gold racing carts from Italy. And we had 35 dealers all over the country. And I was also the general manager of Supercarts USA, a racing sanctioning body for shifter go-karts. A lot of the drivers in the last 25 years that went into IndyCar and even NASCAR and won in Formula One all came out of that Supercarts USA sanctioning body that I was the general manager of. I was not the mover and shaker, though. That was Jim Murley. He's passed away now. But Jim was, he was a visionary. I've only met a few people like him that are visionaries. Wayne Oldenburg that bought Lakeshore is one of them. Jim Murley, from the president of SCUSA, was another one. I would say Tim Narenz is right there also. Maybe not quite as prominent a visionary, but definitely a visionary. Is maybe not quite where the other 2 guys were. But I worked for Tim for 25 years, I think, and enjoyed it. He was a good leader. So back to my 40th year. And so from 40 to 50, by the time I was 40, I had already gone through the experience of being one of the prominent people building the Rhinelander factory, and that plus other things really had my wife and I getting more and more distant, and we ended up getting a divorce. And then, how old was I when I met Anita? So we were married 22 years, so I had to be 45. So I guess I get divorced in my early 40s, and then I marry Anita at 45. And so by 50, oh, by the way, I keep forgetting I'm changing houses like once every 5 years during this period as well. And so by the time I'm 50, which would be 20 years ago, I've got Jalissa as a stepdaughter. I'm married to Anita, and we buy a house in Ralph, Michigan, in the wilderness, a farm, well, a house with 40 acres, and we turn it into a hobby farm. That was a great experience. I don't have too many regrets in life, but coming down here to Texas from after 10 years of living in the wilderness, a lot of good things have happened for us coming to Texas. But I think we'd have been better off staying up there. You know, you never know what's going to happen, but I think we'd have a much more solid retirement. Maybe Anita would have been healthier. Probably the coming to Houston was best for Mary, because there's just so few kids up there where we lived, and the school teachers were really good, but they had 4 teachers. One was a principal, and they had 11 students. So they were good people. So I think her education would have been great, but social life would have not been great. And her social life surrounding her skating down here in Houston is awesome. Really good friends, good people. Kept her out of trouble. She's 19 now. So that whole move to Houston was good for Mary. And then, so let me make sure I touch bases on everything at 50. I'm married for the 2nd time. I'm living in Ralph. I'm still working at Lakeshore. Still changing jobs every 2 years. When I'm 50, I'm probably the director of defense programs, and 50 would have been 2005, yes. So in 2005, I'm the director of defense programs, but I'm also the only sales guy in the company, other than aftermarket. And we had just gone through a huge turmoil where we almost went out of business. The owner actually announced that we were going out of our defense business. We were exiting it. But he came to me when we were right down to almost nothing, and I was a factory manager in Iron River, and he asked if I would come back to defense and go into sales and try to restore the defense business, which we did. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, but the most fun thing. Okay, I'm gonna drop our hooks down again. From 10 feet, I'm going to 15 feet. We're in 26 feet of water. I gotta keep an eye on that though, because it might get shallower. So let's drop this one down to 20 on the counter. And I'm going a little bit off course. I'm going to change course now because we're beyond the tip of that. Point there. Well, not quite beyond it, but I can start changing course a little bit. That way I'll be into the wind a little more. The autopilot was having a little trouble there. It doesn't work that great with the trolling motor up front. If there's any wind pushing on the bow, it has trouble keeping course. Okay, so that's a pretty good course right there. We're at 61 degrees now from 90. Okay, so back to the story. Then at 60 years old, 10 years ago, we've now moved to Houston. Mary's into skating. I am at Unify Energy Solutions, changed jobs when we came to Houston. Took a year off. Anita and I traveled all over the world basically and blew all our money, which was fine. It was a good thing. And I would say we never really recovered completely from that. because we only had 10 more years to work, 12 maybe. But it's okay. And I'm at Unify. What am I doing at age 60? I am the project manager for national accounts. Good company, lots of good people. Anita worked there also. She was the controller. I've calmed down a lot, and I'm less active in things. My hobbies are not racing anymore. They're gardening, and I'm creating approaches to gardening that are like a science project. I love the way that boat sounds, and it's just a cool looking boat. It's like half go fast boat and half pontoon boat. It looks like a catamaran. It sounds good. So when I'm 60, I think we've already bought our house in New Caney, Roman Forest. Around this time is when my house blew up. Our house up north in Ralph, which we were renting, exploded from a gas explosion. It was going to be our summer retirement home, and it exploded. We eventually sold the land, cleaned it all up, and then sold the land. So life is pretty good, really. Okay, so now we're at 70. Anita's passed away earlier this year. Mary's a skating coach and has a side job at Hollister. Corey's staying with us. Robbie just moved back down to Houston. Dan is in Houston. I'm on Lake Conroe, where I keep my boat in the marina. We're renting a 3-bedroom home, and we've all agreed that when the lease is up in August, Mary's going to go on her own, Corey's going to go on his own, and I'm going to let that house go. So at 70, I still feel good. I have a bit of a health scare that I'm going to get an answer on tomorrow, or Friday. But life is good. I'm out here and the wind is starting to pick up. Maybe I will be sailing later. It's a beautiful day. Peaceful. Fishing. Got my buddy Checkers. Audio's still working. Ooh. But our depth has changed. We're up to 25 feet now, so I'm going to bring us back up to about 12 so we don't get a snag. And we're going 1 mile an hour. What was that? Something beeped. Let's see, it's 10 o'clock. What is going on with this? Something's going on with this freaking... Well, that's weird as hell. What is... Somebody is spamming my freaking chat like you would not believe. Something is really messed up in my... Okay, there we go. Man, that got all screwed up. Some fish down there. Come on, you guys, bite. We got one catfish this morning before we even got rolling.